WWE's main event scene is dying, and the man responsible for it is ironically the face of the company himself, the undisputed Universal Champion, Roman Reigns. But how can the greatest title reign of our generation also be one of the worst? Let's talk about it.
It's the same thing over and over.
Roman Reigns' matches these days typically go like this. He comes out, has a decent to great match, and then, when it looks like his opponent is about to win, out comes the entire bloodline and the tribal chief retains. Rinse and repeat. Now, I don't know about you, but this makes watching Roman Reigns' matches less exciting as it used to be because it's the same old bloodline bullshit finish over and over.
It's like missionary position every single night.
And to understand just how ridiculous it has gotten, in the 30 title defenses Roman has had in his current run, only 13 of those were won without any involvement from the bloodline. And this is not even counting the times where he alone had to resort to some underhanded tactics. I don't need to point out the obvious, but that's a lot of help for someone who's supposed to be this unbeatable, end of level like boss. And yeah, cheating to win is a staple heel trope, especially for someone in a faction like Roman, but even diehard tribal chief worshippers out there can admit that it's getting out of hand at this point. And it's not even just with the bloodline. This problem has bled over to WWE's current top faction in the Judgment Day, to the point that every single member, yes, including JD, has to be involved in some way. When will creative realize that sometimes it's okay to win or lose in a clean fashion? If anything, it would make things less predictable because us fans have become accustomed to the interference galore when watching the bloodline or Judgment Day matches. Real quick, we're trying to get to 1,000 subs by the end of the year, so your subscription would really mean a lot. Thank you. I hate to keep using Gunther as an example of the right way to do it, but they just get it right with him for some reason. Gunther has the second longest title reign in the WWE currently, but you could count in your fingers the number of times he's had help from Imperium. I mean, they're not even in ringside for his matches most of the time. And that's why he's so much more effective as a dominant heel champion, because there's just less BS. Unlike with Roman, where it's almost guaranteed that you'll be fighting a handicap match, which makes the odds of any opponent beating him down to almost zero. And that brings me to my next point. To say that the number of viable contenders for the undisputed Universal title is slim pickings would be an understatement. Outside of LA Knight, who Roman just beat, and maybe Bobby Lashley, there really isn't anyone in the SmackDown roster with a modicum of momentum to challenge the tribal chief right now.
There's no one left.
Obviously, there's the looming threat of Senior Money in the Bank, Damian Priest, but it's hard to imagine Roman's historic 1,000 plus day reign ending on a cheap cash-in. And then you got Seth Rollins and Gunther, both really great contenders whom Roman has never beaten. The only problem is, they're both champions in the Raw brand, something which is unlikely to change anytime soon. So really, you're left with two choices, the first one being The Rock. Definitely a dream match scenario and something that's been rumored for quite some time now. But it's still a big if whether or not The Rock wants to wrestle again or if he's even ring ready. The other is of course Cody Rhodes, who by all accounts is still the guy destined to dethrone Roman. But even that poses a problem because 1. Cody is a Raw superstar. 2. That means the only way he can get a title opportunity again is by winning the Royal Rumble for the second time in a row or a number 1 contendership match at Elimination Chamber. And 3. We're still a couple of months away from Mania, and I can guarantee you WWE would want to save a potential The Rock or Cody match for the biggest stage. So yeah, right now, there might just be no one left, which in itself creates another huge problem. WWE have really booked themselves into a corner by creating this near unbeatable champion who somehow forgot to win on his own, and by failing to build up main event level talent who can realistically challenge him for the title. But does that excuse Roman from defending his title and disappearing on weekly programming for months on end?
Nope.
Again, like I mentioned in a previous video, a title does not become more prestigious or important when it's not being defended constantly. Quite the opposite actually, it just hurts the value even more as it makes us fans forget that it even exists. And what's more concerning is that the SmackDown locker room themselves barely even acknowledge the undisputed Universal title when he's not around. It's like the main event picture suddenly vanishes once Roman has one of his long breaks. Side note, does anyone find it ironic when Roman dissed Cena for being a part-timer and now just a few years later, he's also a part-timer? Instead of just waiting for Roman to come back and rush the build for the next title match, why not hold the number 1 contendership match in his absence and have the winner carry the build for the feud? You can even have them defend their title shot to anyone who'd want to try and take it. It's not ideal, but it's sure as heck better than pretending that the US title is the top prize in SmackDown every week. The point is, record-breaking title reigns are good when they're booked well, but this ain't it, bruh. What do you guys think? Have you had enough of Roman's title reign as well? Well, why or why not? Let me know in the comments below. Till the next video, peace.